everybody. One of Wisdom here. It is New Year's Eve. It is 12:15 in the morning. I am extremely tired. I'm also cold, but I hope you've all had a great Christmas, and hopefully in this case you're getting geared up, gonna have a good New Year's. I have some plans, get to do something fun, play Skylanders, video games, board games, whatever it may be. First off, I apologize first on the lack of videos. I've technically had one every day. This is not how I thought my time between, vacation, woohoo, Christmas, New Year's would go. Basically, the last thing that I recorded was a series of 3 videos. Bad Juju, Flare Wolf, and Buckshot base upgrades, I guess. They all 3 were basically glitching out on me, and that's not why I've been away. I've just honestly not had any time. I did all of those, and then I think the next night, I believe that's when I recorded frantically. Oh my gosh, no. I frantically recorded the Minecraft Christmas. By the way, I don't know who that is, so if you're cool or I know you, I apologize. If I don't know you, I apologize. I'm really more of an old school person, and I find that stuff to be annoying. But anyway, I recorded the Mind Logic's Christmas stuff, which if you haven't seen that, check it out. It'll kind of tide you over. But that was the last time I played a game. I think while those rendered out, I was AFK fishing in my solo world, which yes, I'm still working on. And then I think I went through the Golden Arcade, and I basically got the newest characters I have, or characters we had reset. I took a bunch of them through, and I got them either money, or in most likely the case, their Sky Chi Power. Because if you reset, or if they're new, you have to go get the Sky Chi Power, yada yada. So, needless to say, work is technically closed, like this whole time, right? Christmas and New Year's, which is great, but I've been working the whole time, and I've also been helping my sister, and it's 12:17 in the morning right now, and if you wonder how I'm kicking my New Year's Eve off, aside from doing this, here at 6 a.m., I'll be waking up early, not by choice, really, at all, and I will be, and it's going to be a cold morning, by the way, and I'm going to be going, and we're going to set up a garage sale. We've been working on it, and now we're actually going to have the stuff, and we're going to try to sell it to people. And I don't know if people will come to a garage sale on New Year's Eve on a cold morning or not. Generally, when we have garage sales, they're like in the middle of the summer. June, July, August, maybe up towards Labor Day. If you're waiting for people to be back from summer vacations or something. But not. This is a first for me. So it will be an interesting process. If you're concerned about my health, safety, and voice, well, all I can tell you is I'll at least get donuts out of it. And it's always interesting at garage sales. Something's like, priced at $1 that was originally, like 20 to 50, and people still feel the need to haggle or combine it with another item that was equally as expensive when new and lightly used or in the packaging or something. And you learn a lot about people at things like these, so I don't know. And some of the things people buy is also interesting. Like this summer, we had a garage sale at her place, and there was some really cool, what I thought was really cool decorations that were like $2 a piece. I thought some chick would have come in and hung them on her wall. It's down in a college town, and it was around the time everyone was coming back, and I thought, they can put that up in their dorm or their rent house or whatever they're doing. You know what the number one items that went? I think the number one bestseller was used candles. I don't know what the infatuation is there. Maybe it's like a used car. They're like, well, they took the hit at the department store. I'm going to come in and pick it up for pennies on the dollar and drive it. It's still got some scent left to it. That's not something I would ever think to buy used, a candle. I don't know that I'd ever really buy one that wasn't a gift in the first place, but hey, they sold well. And then, my sister had some shoes and purses. Some of them were pretty well trashed. Let's just be on the handle. If it's not attached on one side, and that applies to both sides of the handle. But you know what flew out of there? broken down shoes and purses, man. So I don't know. I'm tempted. Maybe I should like haul down some of my old mowing shoes or something. See if I can get $2 out of them. But put it towards some Skylanders. I never have time to go ascertain. But if my voice sounds really bad, that's what it is. I've been around crud tons of dust. I've been cleaning a bunch of nasty stuff. And it's the temperature has like been either really, really, really cold or like 70 degrees. And there's basically no in between. So I haven't been holding back on you. There's been no Minecraft. There's been no Skylanders. Last thing I did, it was honestly these base upgrades here. I do think one night when I was rendering Minecraft videos, I did go through and do a bunch of Sky Cheese Sensei shrines and stuff. And I think I had plans. I think I accrued quite a few chests I was going to like open up for the Christmas video, and that didn't happen. But anyway, main thing, I hope everybody had a great Christmas with your family. Hopefully none of you... It's always sad when you like holidays fall incorrectly. For example, this is Saturday, Friday night, Saturday, New Year's Eve, right? So that means New Year's Day is a Sunday. In my opinion, if New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, nobody should have to go to work or school on Monday. It should just be the observed New Year's Day. Let's sleep in or wake up early and clean or whatever you want to do. Stock up on green beans for good luck, crawl under ladders and break mirrors. I don't know. But it's just a day that you should not have to go to school or work, in my humble opinion. Anyway, I've got to crank this out in hopes that you get to see it sometime tomorrow. I'm debating releasing Stardew Valley. Now, while I've been away, I've still had a video every day. It's mainly been, I think I did one Terraria or two. You can check that series out if you're looking for something to watch. I think I had a couple, like odds and ends Minecraft videos. TWK plays my PC. Some of those are pretty funny. Maybe TWK PvP Academy, also Minecraft based. But Stardew Valley, if you haven't watched that, you really, really should. I put a lot of time and effort into it. It's a great game, number one, but number two, I try to make it enjoyable for you as a viewer. Even on the most mundane days where I basically water crops and roam around town accomplishing nothing, it still should be somewhat entertaining. So I've also been monitoring this the whole time. I am multitasking. As I move back and forth, you're probably like, why is he doing that? Well, I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't like lag behind too far, because that's usually a good indicator that there's going to be some problems. And obviously with the previous batch of videos, I recorded those 3 in the same session. If I come in and I edit the first one and I'm like, oh crud, it's like I go from saying, hey and then there's the big gap, and then there's never like a continuation, and we pick up talking about, Flare Wolf or something. I can't really recreate these videos. Number one, there I was in a time crunch. And number two, if I were to reset everything, that really sucks for me, and it takes up a lot of time that I currently do not have. And you would have nothing to see. So, it sucks for you and for me, but hey, it is what it is. So, I think we're going to move on here, though. But that's sort of my story in a nutshell. Oh, hey. Well, we can't really follow him, though. I guess we could. That's kind of annoying that now the top guy also goes to the Rat Kingdom, And by that I mean like the one that's up there by the waterfall. That sort of bothers me. I do have a cinnamon mint in my mouth. I don't care if it annoys you. If I don't have it, I'd probably completely lose my voice. So, pick your poison, America. I could care less. That said, I also didn't have to... See, we came up over here. Strange. I also didn't really have... There's that stack of chests that was for the Christmas special. At least I'm honest. I think I 3-starred a couple of levels we hadn't done previously. And... I don't know. Nothing major. So... But, Oh, I should also mention, in more delightful news, and I wanted to make a channel update, but... I figured people, if you had to pick, you would rather see this than a channel update. It was, I don't know, I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Trying to see if we can get some cheap Imaginite parts to sort of, ooh, look, Christmassy, alright? But, no, get out of here. I have to be very careful with her because she is close to leveling up based on our attempted research that we conducted last time. You go away from me. I think he's part of what lags this game out. So far, it's looking okay, though. I'm still monitoring, and I'm watching two screens, sort of with my peripheral vision. But, oh, yes. It was either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. You know, the mail wasn't delivered, but I think it came out Friday or some day we hadn't picked it up. And in the mail, I got a jury summons. And that's just a wonderful way to start your Christmas. You know, you come downstairs, you know, and think you're going to have lunch, and it's like, oh, hey, here's your mail, and wow, it's a jury summons. That's just great. I love working out other people's problems that they and their scumbag attorneys can't take care of themselves. And I'm the type, it's flu season, you know, and there's people that get the vaccine and thus get the flu, and I'll have to be around them. Last time I was at jury duty, supposedly you're never supposed to be picked based on my collegiate degree plan I chose anyway. But the last time I was there, I had to sit there, and I don't know, it took them about 2 hours to figure out that they didn't need near as many people as they had called in. That's always fun, you know, to watch government's wheels slowly start rolling down the hill, you know, as they chisel away the squared edges. But watch it was almost Schoolhouse Rockish. I mean, it was that bad, and I'm pretty sure it was on VHS as well. They clearly invest some time and money into that. The only thing that would have made it better was if the judge would have had trouble with it, and I could have said, plug it in. You know, it harkens back to that level of stupidity. But what ticked me off, we done nothing, and then she gave everyone a break. And I'm like, is this how you accomplish nothing? You just take breaks all the time? And one of the things she said is that, and they'd recently redone the court complex, as they call it. And they had a smoker's porch. They specifically built, with taxpayer dollars, a smoker's porch. Sort of left that one off of, you know, the publicized notes and descriptions, right? But yeah, apparently when you're called into jury duty and you're kept there long enough to get one of those coveted breaks, she sends half the people out to go take a smoke. And then guess what they do? They come inside and they smell like an ashtray as I continue to sit there and fester in the mediocrity that surrounds me. And I've just had that to look forward to this entire time. It's kind of been, I don't know, a lot of people said 2016 sucks, and they reference all this stuff. That I thought it was an okay year, but I certainly do not ever enjoy that. I'm sort of more of a solo person than teamwork. I would rather just throw in your people, you know, and their attorneys, shut the attorneys up, and let me just mediate the crud between the two people. For those of you that didn't know, I was actually going to go to law school, and I had to go to so many court cases and try to write reports on them, only to see everything be bartered outside of the courtroom. And then my professor, she was one of those ones that wrote her own textbook, you know, it's always fun, wouldn't accept it. Like, I tried to see an actual contested case, and all I could ever find was just sleazebags compromising at the last minute, just, you know, default judgments where one party just totally doesn't even show up. And then the most disgusting part was the attorneys, I mean, that you would think would be just bitter enemies and doing everything they can to take care of their quality client. Oh no. They just see that one another to put on a show in front of the clients, and then behind closed doors, they're just best friends talking about going on happy hour here in a few hours. And it just put a really, really bad taste in my mouth. My issue was to always represent definitive good and definitive evil, and I wanted to represent the good and take down the definitive evil. And although I know there are situations where that will arise and might continue to happen, it's what I would have to do in the meantime, representing sleazebags. It's where you've got not necessarily a person that's better or right or justified, but you've got two really horrible people that neither one, you know, are someone I would want to associate with or represent regardless of how much money they may pay me. I would literally rather trim trees. I got to a point where, like, especially crapgrass like Bermuda, which that's really more like a weed, but people consider it a grass. I would rather cut Bermuda grass all day, every day, than have to deal with that stuff. So, I still have kind of debated going back to law school, maybe like trying to be a judge or something, but then I like experience stuff like my last jury duty process, and I just think, this would be a miserable existence, and I want nothing to do with it. I would rather do what I currently do and go home at night and play Skylanders at 3 a.m. because I'm at least happy at that point in time. So, that said, hey, you got 15 minutes, somewhat of a channel update, and let's go ahead here. Her Skychi, I've been pacing around there. Everything seems fine. I've not seen the green lines and audio pops and whatnot. So the Skychi power, which I believe it is in what chapter? Was it Fizzland? I think it was Fizzland is where the swashbucklers are. Anyway, and if I would have had chain reaction, we could have taken him there, but I still cannot find that guy. Skychi power, harnessing havoc. The ultimate sensei attack, hold right trigger to perform your Skychi power. Use left stick to steer Junior and enemy. So pretty much run of the mill, right? But let's take a look at it first. And I'm not too concerned about documenting these. I just need to get this rendered out and uploaded so you can watch it and understand where I've been and why I sound bad and all the joyous things that have been going on. So, here we go. We're going to hold down right trigger. If we fill our meter back up by slaying enemies, we'll do this again at the end.
Some voodoo for you too.
42 to 63. Don't know that I really like that one. I'll take it, but I don't know that it's one of my favorites now. Where we left off, I tried and tried and tried to get Junior to do what I wanted him to do, which was let Mama Juju get whacked with a hammer from a rat. As exciting as that sounds. It never really worked out. I've just come to accept the fact that you'll never get that kid to do what you want him to do, nor will he ever really do well what he is described to do in the upgrades. And that frustrates me to no end. As you know, I typically do not care for the babies, the minis, the whatever. Majority of the time, they turn out to be statistically superior by far. I won't argue that. I'm the guy that documents it and determines it. I just personally don't like them. I never have. I never will. This one, I don't like it. That said, Top Path seems to focus primarily on your primary attacks. And Junior, if you just neglect everything to do with the kid and keep him hovering around you, he does provide decent defensive capabilities. Case in point, if you watch the base upgrades, rats are trying to hit me. The kid comes back at the last second. I get the shield. I take no damage. So it does have its merits in that regard. But what I decided to do...
What kind of dark magic is this?
I can't hear you, woman. Okay. So, this is what I'm thinking. Mother Nature. Alright? This improves our whirling blade attacks. I'm still not content with her making the switch to Swashbuckler. I thought she was an excellent sorcerer. I, like many of you, sort of kind of thought Dreamcatcher. I assume it's just they didn't know how to make her figure, is all I could think of. Or perhaps they thought she should just remain like Pepperjack, too evil to conform to Eon's requests or something. The thing is, I feel like the aesthetics of the figure kind of suit this better because of the sword colorations, And then down here, I think I'm going to make poor mystical bad Juju take this path. And then if I just truly hate it and I get enough downtime, I'll probably reset it and take the top one. But I do want to document it. I think that bottom path will turn out to be pretty good, regardless of if I like it personally or not. But just aesthetically, since they did color Mystical Bad Juju's Mystical Juju Jr., or whatever we would call that correctly, I don't really have an issue there, so I think we're going to take standard down Mother Nature. Alright, so Static Shock is up first. When Whirling Blades hits, another nearby enemy will get shocked with static electricity. I believe we need 6,900 here. if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a while now. So whirling blades, that is our primary attack. And that right there is going to be what, the tornado slash? Alright. Yeah. And you can send Junior out and you can do more damage, but good luck getting the kid to stay gone or to come back when you want him to. I've just had zero luck with it, and it gets to the point that it's frustrating and I just don't care to deal with it. Oh, was that shock damage, 12 to 18? That's actually not bad, and I like the animation on it. The animation on it's actually really cool. And it's still sending out the static electricity, even without an enemy. That's actually kind of neat, I'm not going to lie. No change in damage there, but 12 to 18. Static shock to nearby enemies. Looks cool, too. Why? Because we can. That's why that's going in the spreadsheet. I had planned to release a bunch of spreadsheets for you for Christmas, too, and that just didn't happen either. The thing about tomorrow is the garage sale. I don't know. You never know how long those are going to go. Because you think you're closing up because it's slowed down, you know, like around lunchtime. And then here comes the wave of people again, right? It's like they went and grabbed lunch somewhere and, well, let's go see if we can buy, you know, someone's stuff. And so I'm figuring that'll run until like 3 to 4, sadly. And then I think we'll probably have a little New Year's Eve party with my nephew or something. And I'm going to come home and probably be really, really tired, but I might try to crank out another video. I actually have one unboxing to do, Skylanders related. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, needless to say that, it's not groundbreaking, the 12 to 18, but it makes sense and it looked cool, so I'm fine with that. Alright. And I think, had we have taken that with Mystical Bad Juju, the Static Shock Orb would have still been sort of like the quintessential lightning, you know, bluish-white. And I think that would have bothered me with it not being red and black. So, I feel like we made the right decision there. So, right here we've got a Storm of Blades for 2200. Whirling Blades and Tornado Slash attacks do more damage. So, Whirling Blades is, of course, our primary. And Tornado Slash, where are you? That's the one where we basically get the last. It was essentially the same thing. 21 to 32, and then 21 to 32 for 12 seconds, basically. So, I'll be a fan of this because, hey, if we're sticking to the top path and we want the primary, well, let's see what we get. Oh, 27. Okay. What would the crit on that be? 27, half of that would be 13, 5, 14, 41. A Storm of Blades, 27 to 41. There's the end of my cinnamon mint. Man, those are so good. I used to live off cinnamon mints. And then, like, we could never, they just quit making them. You know, I was so sad. You could never find them anywhere. And then, we were running around looking for stuff for Christmas. And, we're at some strange grocery store. And I think it was my sister. And she's like, oh, look, cinnamon mints. And she was like, would you like those? And I was like, yes. So, I've got cinnamon mints again. But, let's see here. 2741. So, without Junior, we would do 29 to 44 if this kid will stay away from me. Oh, go away, child. Oh, this is so annoying. 37. Alright. So let me just go ahead and document that because it's clearly not going to pan out like I wanted it to. 37, half of that would be 18.5, which is 1937.56. We'll go with that without. I wish you could just turn Junior off, to be honest with you. Not to be cruel, but I just, the kid, you know, it's one of those things. One of those things. Popular vote in the comments as to where there's one person, and I mean, I think it was Rita, makes a decent point. If you read the story literally, she just conjured him up, right? It's like, hocus pocus, alamagocus, make an alligator appear and, you know, wreak havoc on people. And no, it's like, oh, you've got this thing that looks just like you. But you can also, it's open to multiple interpretations when you say conjure. So who's the daddy in terms of that debate, if you want to take it to that point? The most popular and frequent choice people have voiced in the comments has been Graveclobber. I could sort of see that. Whatever the case may be, Junior definitely seems to take after his mother. I suppose she's got the stronger genes in that case. Anyway, so far not too bad on this pass. We've upgraded the base attack from 2132 to 27 to 41, 37 to 56 without the kid, which is up from 29 to 44. And each time we hit, if there's a nearby enemy, we do 12. Let's make sure that's still 12 to 18, actually. Yeah, it is. And now I'm just gonna whammo-bammo this thing. And of course they all die before we get to enjoy it. Nonetheless, it fills the meter up a little bit more. Oh, I hit the wrong button. But like when I'm faced with it, how am I going to kill enemies? Well, it seems to be the primary attack with her. Regardless of anything else she has that's cooler or more effective, it's just what I go to with her. So I've got to retrain myself not to hit that switch. And we'll come in, final upgrade for 3000 on the top path. Mother Nature is a cutter catastrophe. After a storm of blades, which is this one, send out flying blades in all directions. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. A storm of blades singularly upgrades the attacks. So, and it applies to Whirling Blades and Tornado Slash. And Whirling Blades is just one hit, I would assume. So let's see if we throw knives out after just one sword swipe. If that's the case, it's amazing. If that's not the case and we have to do the 12-second charge, that sort of sucks, although it'll be cool when you do that. But the other intermediate stop would be Whirling Blades. You had 21 to 32, 21 to 32, and then the third hit, where I think she sort of spun around a little more. Maybe they tie it in with that. I don't know. Let's figure it out. It should look pretty cool aesthetically regardless. So, okay, so one hit doesn't seem to be the case. Really? She doesn't do it after 3. Okay, well that looks really cool. It's just a shame it's tied in. That's really, really, really not worded correctly in my opinion. That does not come out after Whirling Blades 1 hit, 2 hits, or even the 3 hits. It's literally you've got to initiate Tornado Slash, which is the 12-second deal. Now, can I stop pressing? I guess if you let off and press X again, you can just... No, you can't. I can't this time. Huh. You know what? I don't think we're going to be able to test this here at all. I'll just be totally honest with you. I think we're going to kill everything before it happens. Maybe if I just get them to stay away. Stay away, you moron. Oh. And the guy that's left gets hit by nothing. We're going to go down to the dummies to do this because it'll just be so much easier for me. Sometimes I can seemingly get it to trigger and release the blades ahead of time. Okay, if you jump, she'll automatically do it. Okay, that's cool. But if I initiate that... Okay, that time I pressed X and it went away. Sometimes she'll do it, sometimes she doesn't. Like that time, she wasn't doing it, and then I moved a little and she did. I can't explain it, but that's what it is. So, here we go. Soul Gem time. Hold Y to have Juju Jr. explode with lightning. Absolutely. In theory, I already love this. So, let's take a look at it. So it was a 6-second deal, and sadly he came back. Sadly he came back. That'll be the favorite line for many of you. Okay, that will actually be a worthwhile attack. If you recall, just the tertiary, I loved the lightning bolt strike from. And it looks like it's going to get even better. Alright, So now the question is, can we do this without killing everyone? Did that just do 108? Because I guess it's the... And see, then the kid just attacked. I can tell ya. Alright, we'll almost have the meter full. Should after this. Stay away, gentlemen. Was that 108? I think it was. This is a great position. Okay, yeah, so 108. Oh, killed them all. And her animation's really cool, if you actually pay attention to that. So, Soul Gem, let's go ahead and log that. It is really neat, but 108, half of that is 54, so 162. And you have to realize, though, while charging, if you're not in the corner, you can get the auxiliary lightning. What? Not that time, I guess. Okay. Huh. Junior appears to be chillaxing over there. That is fine by me. So, it's time for Harnessing Havoc again. We can showcase our Sky Chi. Let's get a couple more dummies in here. Gonna hold down our RT. And it's still the same 42 to 63. Junior is totally off the map, but it's still working somehow. So, 42 to 63. I'll take that. And what we want to do now is get the frick out of here. This path has not been like, whoa. There's never been that wow moment. And there's been a couple of frustrating ones that don't really make a lot of sense. It looks really cool. It slightly ups the damage. You know, that's about it. So, Static Shock I like, but it's sort of like, yeah, you know, just a little bit there, 12 to 18, right? And then a Storm of Blades. That, go away, Robot Man. The Storm of Blades, I really wish that would have bumped us up to 30. You know, 21 is like, okay, well, that's not a heavy hitter, but it's there for a box stock attack. Jumping from 21 to 27 is almost like doing nothing. You sort of feel like that should have happened in the base upgrades, and then your reward for taking this path is you're dealing like 35 to 50-ish, you know? And the sad thing is, in order to use a Cutter Catastrophe, which we're going to showcase here, you literally are going to have to strictly spam the primary and initiate the Whirling Blades, or I should say Tornado Slash, to even ever use it, which that, I don't know. I can think of a lot of things that would have made this path a lot better than it is. It's not terrible. The numbers aren't, I wouldn't say any of them are impressive, really. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. I'll give it that. It's practical, but it's not what I would have done, and I don't feel that the numbers are there. Like if Static Shock would have been enhanced with a Storm of Blades or Cutter Catastrophe, instead of just stringing off one piece to maybe doing multiple enemies and doing, you know, 15 damage or something. And then if we would have had just really, the thing that would have made this for me is if we did more than 27 damage. 21 to 27 is just like laughable, in all honesty. So had we have bumped it up to 30 to 45 or above, I'd have been feeling a lot better. I know that's a small jump, 27 to 30, but 21 to 27, you kind of feel robbed. You're like, oh, well, you know, I guess I'll reset and take the other path then, right? So that said, we still don't know, we have no clue what a Cutter Catastrophe does damage-wise. We should be able to figure it out here. So, seriously, we missed the dummies. Letting it go full cycle. Okay, 36. Well, that's okay. There was the instantaneous deployment by way of me jumping. So it's got a great... Look at the radius on it. It's basically hitting mags, which we should get bonus points for that, really. Okay, not joining a party. I'm a busy man. Alright. Huh. Okay, well, hey, that's not terrible. It looks, again, the looks of this path, I really would bring it home. If you ever saw a critical, it would be 36 to 54. Okay. I've never seen that icon before. I don't even know what it is. How many of these are there? I don't know that I want to try to count. I'm not really going to have time, am I? Well, we can do it in editing, or you can do it, whatever. That's 36 to 54 is what's the most important part. So this has been a mini channel updates. Me struggling to speak, me hoping that the recording didn't glitch out like the previous ones. A little bit longer, but hey, you know, what can you do? I had planned to do Mystical Bad Juju as well. I think I'm going to hold out until possibly tomorrow night, because by the time I render this, it'll have to upload for a long time because my internet is slow and sucks. And, okay, I get the point, Xbox, but got to be careful when you say that X word, because it'll start opening things, you know. I don't know. I mean, really, I can't pass definitive judgment on this path until we take the voodoo that you do, which will be the junior path, which will probably turn out to be better because, again, historically, regardless of the character, the element, or the game, the path with the minis has almost always been superior numerically, to say the least. So you may not use it, you may not like it, but if you do, it would benefit you the most, type of a thing. So I think with Bad Juju, I'm honestly going to stick to this and just reap the benefits of that, you know. But I do wish that the static would, you know, deliver a little bit better, I should say. I'm trying to position myself to where we could get... See how the static doesn't even, like, hone in, you know? You only see the 27 to 41 and then there at the end the 36, but, like, I'm wanting to make sure that the static didn't increase and it just will not hit one of those dummies for its life, regardless of where I go. So we'll just assume that it's still 12 to 18, right? So, that said, it is actually getting harder and harder for me to talk. And I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to edit this video out. I'm going to get it uploaded. Hopefully y'all can see it tomorrow while you know, prepare for your New Year's activities. I may just go ahead and put out a Stardew Valley in the morning. And kind of take it in stride there. Give you that, and then boom. No one expected the Skylander video in the afternoon. Because I've literally, it's just been, I got home and I made supper. And I pulled the pizza out of the oven. It was like 9:56, you know, when you're eating supper at 10 o'clock, you know that you've been busy, and so that's the way it goes. But yeah, it's 12:53 now. I'll get this going. I can get about try to shower, maybe, I don't know, a little over 5 hours of sleep, something like that. Probably not, something less than that, but hey. I'm going to quit rambling. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. If you got Skylanders Imaginators, how are you enjoying it? What characters did you get? Which character is currently your favorite? I know a lot of you have just been having to watch videos since October, patiently waiting for this moment to come where you would have the game and could play as it. So I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're getting to create some Imaginators, have some fun, sort of exploring the game and the options and modes it has to offer. For those of you that are looking for Wave 3, have you actually found it anywhere? If so, where? Because I've got some of it, but I've still never seen Chain Reaction. And that's sad. But in terms of Skylanders, the next video that you see, I've got that surprise unboxing to do, which is a Chain Reaction. You'll have to tune in and see. Next research video, it'll probably be Mystical Bad Juju, and then we can sort of say, okay, hey, this path has better numbers, but I would still prefer this one. What about you? I'll probably prioritize Buckshot and Flitterwolf. I had a lot of fun doing their base upgrades, and that's about that. So I'm going to go drink a crud ton of water, probably pop another cinnamon mint, because I feel like I'm not going to be able to breathe. And I hope none of you are having to wake up at 6 in the morning and go to a garage sale. Should be fun. It's going to be nice to have it done and behind us, but man, the timing on it is just, you know. One of those things. So, hey, but there's donuts, right? So we got that going. Nonetheless, hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hope you're gearing up, gonna have a good New Year's as well. And like I said, if you're looking for something to do, kind of fill the void for not having Skylander videos daily the last couple of days, I've still had daily videos. Take the time to start a new series, Stardew Valley, Terraria, some of the Mind Logic stuff, my Wisdom Plays Minecraft series. There's a ton of stuff on the channel for you. So that said, thanks so much for watching. OneOfWisdom.com. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter, and we will go with hashtag... I don't even care. Yeah, just whatever you want to do. IDC. We'll just do hashtag IDC. We'll get you a bonus brick in the Wall of Wisdom. Yes, I will eventually release another episode. I've been doing things in that world. It's just a daunting task when I'm like 500 bonus bricks behind. I've got plans to catch up. I just need free time to make it happen, and so I'm working towards that. But once again, thanks for watching. I'll quit rambling. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you back here for more. SkylanderClub.com. That's the place to head if you want to check things out. If you're super into this sort of thing, got a lot of cool polls up regarding Imaginators. You can post up your creations, your finds, whatever you want to talk about. That's the place to do it. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Beam. Follow me on Twitter. And I'm going to go. I've got to be up in a couple of hours. So, Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Hope you have a good time. I'll catch you later.